Welcome back. Coffee-related stocks facing headwinds after President Trump announced a 50% blanket tariff on Brazil to take effect August 1st. Brazil is the largest coffee exporter to the United States, brewing questions around whether prices at chains including Starbucks and Dutch Bros could rise. We're seeing shares of Dutch Bros really feeling the brunt of this. Joining us now, TD Cowen analyst Andrew Charles. Andrew, set the scene for us. I mean, first of all, why does this matter when coffee is grown all around the world? And even if Brazil is, the biggest exporter of coffee to the United States, we can get our coffee from Sumatra and Chile and lots of other places around the world.
Good morning. So Brazil has risen in importance as a coffee exporter to the United States. It's the largest, as you mentioned, and that's been growing as well. It's about 22% of the imports in 2024, and about 20% on average over the last 5 years, so growing in importance. You're right. I think that coffee competitors and coffee shops are going to really find other ways and look for other markets to really help import from. But, because Brazil is such a large piece of this, it's going to be hard to really circumvent the issue in its entirety if it were to be fully implemented.
So what's the impact on Starbucks, for instance?
Yeah, so Starbucks and Dutch Bros, it's about a similar impact. So we're thinking it's about 1.5 to 2 points of impact to the profitability if there were to see no mitigation efforts in place. And so, Contessa, you nailed it. I think you're going to see that companies are going to try to avoid pricing on this just to make sure in a fragile consumer backdrop of the restaurant industry that they're not raising prices and not impacting traffic. So I think you'll see things like trying to get blends from other places, potential other opportunities, to really help make coffee more efficient. Bear in mind that both Starbucks and Dutch Bros are vertically integrated, so there's perhaps some efficiencies in the manufacturing process that both can look at to really help absorb the costs rather than pass it on to the consumer.
In February, we saw coffee futures jump about 6%, like in this panic buying. But coffee is one of those things that, you can make it at home for pennies on the dollar, and yet people go out and spend $5, $6, if you're in New York City, maybe $10 on a coffee drink. Carl is shocked by that, but clearly he's not been out buying coffee recently. He makes it upstairs for free. Is a coffee price increase, does it even matter to consumers?
It does. It's one of those things that you mentioned that you're right, that it's obviously much cheaper to make it at home. But coffee shops really sell the experience. They sell the hospitality when you go. And the other thing, too, that I think is really important is that we did a deep dive with my colleague, Rob Moskow, who covers the at-home coffee market back in December. What we found is we think there's a generational opportunity for coffee shops to really gain share. And that's fueled by the fact that the coffee shops really skew to iced beverages. Interestingly, Starbucks, about 2/3 of their beverage sales, a little more in 2024, were iced. Dutch Bros is over 80%. The at-home coffee portfolio really geared for hot. And iced is really important because it skews more to Gen Z as well as higher margin. And the other impact, too, as well, is you think about the loyalty and digital advantages and innovations of the coffee shop industry over the last 5-10 years, really leading to a lot of stickiness as well, that consumers are getting rewarded for their purchases. They can order in advance as well to save time at the coffee shops, too. So, I think you're going to see continued shifts away from home, at-home coffee, really to the coffee shop market, particularly as Gen Z prefers to get coffee outside the home versus make it at home.
Well, you're seeing Starbucks shares down 0.5% now and Dutch Bros up 0.25%. By the way, Andrew, if you just leave your leftover coffee in the pot, you can ice it at home yourself, too. It's not that hard. I've done it. Just saying.
It's a little different. The seeping when you do a cold brew is kind of like iced tea rather than Americano. Like to your point, that's brewed hot. It's a little bit of a different taste profile, but my palate's not that sophisticated.
Clearly mine's not either. Andrew, thank you for joining us today on All Things Coffee. Carl.
Thank you.